two teams, given the history between them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been tough for DRX against NRG on this map. And look at this early push out here from NRG. They're already getting in. RB gonna see the edge of him.
He's ready for it. Does manage to react in time. Gets tagged down to 40, but wins out. Finds that first kill here of the map.
They have no idea.
Crashy's continuing. Oh, but he just takes so much damage. Knocked to 22. Even if he had the healing, obviously wouldn't be able to use it on himself. So we'll just go ahead and rotate back. Certainly Link look to reinforce alongside Victor, who's just sat here in hell.
RB had to use all of his utility to watch the back. Watch the flank.
Now swarm out, the swing in, the stun's in, but Buzz is, just trying to play around this cloud burst, but the turret finishes off RB. Crashies arriving will find one before getting taken down. That brings us back into a man advantage now for the side of NRG. Tag low, Victor on for three. Zest will be the
early push out here by NRG. Even though it doesn't pay off, even though RB is able to win the better of that trade, it still forces DRX the direction that they want them to go throughout this entire thing. And that's in towards A with somebody, or excuse me, RB here, I think grabbed a Sheriff. Indeed he did.
Sheriff for him. Most firepower they have. Artist in the meantime popped up top, and I mean, it seems like Stacks is just more focused on grabbing the orb. He wants to have that Rolling Thunder as fast as possible. So just stays glued to it. Mako, however, taken down, and now in an eco without your smokes. Trying to pull this off and get a thrifty. This certainly starts seeming nigh impossible. Clear on the alarm bot to push in from Artist. Takes out RB. The Sheriff now on the ground. Zest picking up one, but then as soon as you, I mean, it's got to be cursed. As soon as you pick up the Sheriff, you end up getting taken out. Cleanup going to be coming through with a nice little no-scope. Artist will have 3 in the round.
You know, Artist up top. DRX kind of challenging to make sure they can get the orb. Trying to get anything out of this round that they can. Get the plant, get the money, get the orb out of that. Because a lot of the utility that DRX uses to set up their hits comes from him. And you can see already a heavy stack here towards A off the back of that fault line that pushes Crashies back. A high tide going to be the response from NRG to buy time for the rotation from Artist over to A, and DRX is just kind of pumping the brakes. They're just going to wait on this a little bit, try to reassess. Now let's see if Stacks is going to try to dial up something different. I would like to see that. I'd like to see early changes of direction for DRX.
I know there's one on the right side, tucked away. A rough spot there for Mako, but Buzz counter swinging out from the left, does find one. Crashy's going to be taken down. Shot goes across, and Buzz and Stacks both so very low. They put Artist to 89. Still in a very strong position here, our NRG, especially if Artist continues to find value. Sees the hand for just a brief moment, but eats the full flash. Dash in, noted on the flank. The rush through Artist with a Sheriff in hand, finds one sum, gets another with a stinger. Buzz and Mako now taken down. It's a 3v4. The gun grabbed up. Artist says, thank you very much. Zest now rethinking about this one. Decides to back away. Or at least wait until they get into a better position. 18 seconds on the fault line, so will not come into play here on this execute.
Well, they have to go A now. There's no other choice. Let's see if they can get it done.
Dart over the top. It will get a ping through, tuck into the corner. Identify position of one. Spray through. RB finding Artist. Tom trading positions here with Zest. Gets the jump on him. Now finds himself in a 1v2. The Stinger has to go for the reload. RB trying to get ahead of it. He misses the timing, but Stacks will be able to finish him off.
You can see why Zest is kind of really valued on this Sova. That dart there gets a lot of information and allows DRX to get in there, get what they got to do. But then Sam, no attempt to show anything otherwise. That entire round for DRX, it makes it really easy for NRG to do a ton of damage.
Flash out from Crashies, just scouting in a sewer. Nothing going to be noted there. Very much same setup here from DRX, just pumping the brakes, getting tucked away into these cubbies. The Trailblazer to lead. Artist on the peak. Do they know? This time there's that Opera on the opposite side. They should suspect it just given the cash flow that he had. And oh, what an aggressive peek out from Buzz. Puts some damage down. Doesn't find the punish, however. Crashies will just look to go ahead and heal up those wounds.
But already, NRG sensing a change of direction here from DRX. A high tide to come out. RB still tucked in right next to the doors on the other side of Garage. And it looks like it is going to be the B hit, the fault line to lead the way. The recon dart, but Sam is ready for the dash.
And Buzz trying to get the jump on him before that smoke bloomed, but then Sam just uses it against them. Zest now, deep lurk, waiting to try to get this catch, because NRG should be very well aware that this is going to be this pulled back position that DRX want to play in. Stax finding one before falling, Victor trades the other. Lockdown is available, and Zest gets outdone. Crashies gets the jump on him. Strikes him down, push out. RB finds the headshot. 3 members left to deal with, though.
You should run.
As they start working their way out of window. The full flash connects. Mako good for one. Have they called it? Crashies on the flank. He's just trying to get him off of this spike, but can't make it happen.
Fault line into the recon dart and the flash. Again, you really watch these fault lines. This is a big, I think, weakness of Stax as not just an IGL, but a player that he leads with those lineups, whether it be Zest or RB in particular. They like to hang out back there on those B hits.
Oh,
Artis.
what a quick shot.
Whew.
Artis reading the setup, knows that he wants to get tucked away and manages to nail the nasty flick and a follow-up shot. Stack's gone. The classic drawn out. Artis not quite firing it, but I think it's all right. You've done a good job, son. You can take a breather now. Crashies finds Mako. They keep them in the nice little lead. Up in the hands here of Zest, just trying to use this against them. Perhaps just hold on to it for dear life. RB will find one with the Sheriff, but now Zest says, all right, I guess I got to grab a stinger. We cut across, and we'll be able to find the Bulldog. But from here, what do you do?
Well, he's got the spike and he's got space, so he can rotate off of this, find a place to plant, even on the other side of the map with Victor already all the way over here onto A. Right now, that Killjoy utility won't be activated initially. Still a couple of nanos there onto the site itself, though. Of course, though, Zest has to take his time. He has no information about what's going on behind him, but still some utility to work with. Still hope here, honestly, for Zest. A couple Bulldogs and a Vandal. I mean, there are some ults, but you wouldn't think that NRG will invest them.
It'd be a hell of a way to get yourself on the board as he finds himself 0-4 for the moment. To grab 3 here in this round. Spots the turret, knows that the Killjoy at the very least is not in range. Nano destroyed, and that will be the alarm bell that they needed. Gets cleared out, another one popped just in case he is in that plant position. Zest, where does he decide the position? Looks like he's just going to keep himself forward. He wants to try to challenge, but does he realize that all 3 are rotating? Seems like now he might be getting a sense of it, hearing some of those footsteps. This is the spot where they can start separating, get themselves split up, and try to approach here from different directions, but it's all 3. Straight up. The hold.
They're not faking?
No, they are not. The Cove is there for protection as well.
It's pretty difficult for DRX on these post plants. You know, they're expecting typically to be able to use utility to clear them, but Zest doesn't opt to go for any of his shock darts. He's still at a struggle bus on the struggle street for sure for DRX so far. As now blades up for Artis. Tons of ults here for both sides, really. Stacks with that rolling thunder. Mako will get tricky with those TPs from time to time with the Omen. It's definitely got to keep your eyes out for that. But I like what DRX is doing here. I was just thinking this, that let's take some garage space. Let's try to put some pressure down. Sam going to get noted by the turret, able to clear it without taking any damage, but he gets the opener, and Artis with the follow-up.
A quick check around the corner, and Buzz is gone. Stack's only able to find Victor, but he's tacking down to 21 HP. The spray through one to Zest knocks him down to 43, and already it just feels like this timeout is being worked to absolute perfection against DRX.
NRG read him. They kind of had a pretty good idea that this was going to be a change in FNS.
And it just keeps getting worse. Stack's now gone. Spike picked up. Mako, it's in his hands. They're going to start drifting over towards the A site here. Smoke, maybe they're trying to fake that they're going to find some presence here onto B. But NRG, they don't need to really shift anybody onto A. They can play reactively. They know that they're in this 4v2. They know that Zest is low on health. Could just gather up, look to flood the site, not take any risks.
Cover going out. Blinding.
Smoke now in. Rotations will start to come through. Paranoia used just in case. They'll find themselves with an empty site. Mako goes for the plant.
10 seconds left.
No contact off of that Paranoia or anything like that. Mako going to readjust. Still has his ult. Don't think he'll have much of a chance to use it. Zest with a couple shock darts in the Owl drone. See if they can get something done with its reckoning now. Mako going to be in a tricky spot. Zest going to maneuver into health.
And I mean, that's a hell of a lot of respect being shown here as Mako ends up on top of the box, not with any obfuscation. The smoke was all strangled DRX out of this map.
Yeah, they're just on one right now. again, this is time and time again. Every time we came to this map, I would just NRG can then overcommit to some of these early pushes to punish DRX out in that space, because once they get contact from one, you pretty much guaranteed there's at least one or two others.
I mean, it just feels like they started off, talking about readability. DRX, they used to be like hieroglyphics. We're like, how do you read this? They have been translated down and down and down now into like a children's book. And NRG are just happy to go ahead and take a quick little peruse through the pages. Now though, Sight being attacked. Mako finding finesse. Buzz down to a sliver of HP as the dart goes flying. Artist up on top of Lumber, managing to find one. Victor and back. Sight looking to anchor it down. Finds two. SNRB though trying back. Now Artist still standing. And Zest so very low.
For this retake, they got crossfires for days. And yeah, a couple really nice shots, a couple nice reactions from DRX. But then they start pushing back Sight. And there's 3 guns just pointed in a direction. There's no utility place to kind of try to confuse. A lot of the what I call like leading utility, like maybe the Owl drone, or again the fault lines, or the paranoia. Some of the utility that kind of signal that executes are happening aren't being used in any way to try to confuse NRG. They're just being used on executes. And yeah, sure, we know DRX is good executes, but if you just give them that space, don't get caught up in the mess that is their executes, then you're fine. Then you play retake and good teams will punish them every time.
And Doug was making mention of this map in particular. 3 sites, finesse as your IGL, how much it can make you stand out. Right now, the way that things are going, it seems like he is just continuing to have that absolute perfect read. DRX trying to make something happen, a push up in the garage, they clear out some of the util, getting rid of that alarm bot, that KJ turret that stops them from having Artists play contact off of it. There on the C site. Looks like a drone up into the pit will draw out a snake bite here from the side of finesse, but the rest of DRX going to start moving their way forward. The spike planted here on B. Can they get into their post-plant position? Mako trying to watch from behind. Victor creeping up. Spots him, but doesn't hit that headshot. Paranoia going to be let loose. Victor manages to dodge out on it. Well, the retake continues. Triple approach through the garage. Artist feel like he's ready to lead the charge. Finesse spotting Zest. Looks to zone him back as the lockdown is going to be invested. Use the creep up. Mako spotting him. Stack's going to be good for 1. Let's Finesse now out of the fight. Stack's traded up. Victor finding that elimination. Now they start going for the defuse. Hunter's Fury coming across. Zez looking to go ahead and displace them. They get it to half, however, so it's still in a winnable position. The push up, the stun. RB able to find 1. Time dwindling. Mako sprays him off 1. And Zest will fall, but so
all
too.
3 sites. You've got Mako faking footsteps over at C. You've got the pressure by garage door. You've got Zest using some of his utility to keep FNS at bay. This is much role Achilleos. DRX generally is slightly better on their attacker half on Haven than their defender side. But again, it's international. It does kind of sometimes play out a little bit differently. We'll see if they can start to string things together. And they're kind of going back to this again. They're gonna fan out across the map. They're gonna try to bait out some utility here from NRG, buy some opportunity, buy some time. See if maybe they can get a pick. Now that Trailblazer out on the other side of the map here, yes, is going to spot Zest. But he's the only one spotted out of that. That got pretty deep. So a smoke sent to maybe try to fool him. But this is full on looking like another B hit from DRX. But they did fool
Rolling
him.
Thunder available. Did they decide to commit that just to get themselves into the site? Now just going to flash out. Buzz up over the top. The spray coming through. Fault line does help shove some back, but decent damage dealt here. DRX's jet. Spike now going to be planted. Lock down a Rolling Thunder. Still in their back pocket. You can see again, this time they're very wary. They're worried about these flanks. Only Crashies who's attempting it for now is RB dropping the lockdown right outside of B site, just looking to buy them some extra space, some extra time, and make this that much more unassailable for NRG. Finesse has to pull away. Gets himself out to safety. Buzz trying to go on the hunt. No, actually no. He did end up getting caught, but it looks like Buzz doesn't want to overstep. Instead, pushes out, but it's just a bit too late. It's a little bit of minor damage down onto Victor, but finally NRG realized, yeah, we've been outpaced on this one. The time buy from the side of DRX was just a bit too good. It will allow them to rack up that 3rd round.
Well, yeah, it does look like something of that nature, but that cascade early here from Zom kind of anticipating some pressure towards that window. Trying, I think, to get some space here for Artis to do some work with this operator. He is continuing to push up around this corner. Zest has to be really careful, and he is. That's a really good owl drone to confirm.
A botch on that tailwind. Get out the safety, but they're not pinching through to try to take him down. Could have been a big opportunity for a punish, but they're not certain, who is there? Is he peeking alone? Is there 2-3 players backing him up? Oh boy, RB. Knife in hand, trying to get tucked here into the corner. Swings around, finds Crashy. Some will trade it back. Headshot in reply as they now turn their sights over here towards the C side. Rolling Thunder not catching him in finesse. He gets himself back into the site, spraying across, looking for Buzz, but Buzz finds him just a little bit faster. Both broken. A warning shot perhaps here from Artis as Mako gets knocked down to 58. It looks like they're still very suspicious about it, and they are rightfully correct about it here. As I throw out some more redundancies, they spray him down, they find the wallbang shot. A single shock dart sent to try to buy some space, some time. Would have been able to get the kill on a Victor, but he wasn't playing here on it. Artis up over the top, gets one with the operator, stacks, sets up for a second, but now Buzz needs to try to clutch this one out. He's approaching from garage. Artis trying to get the read on it. Swings out, Buzz finds the perfect time.
Thunder. It's just off of their position enough that they can wait for it and immediately start taking space, but Buzz has a phenomenal response to start spraying in there, getting that opening kill, giving them the ability to get this plant down. Huge hold from Stacks to find twos. Really nicely handled there.
Artis.
Oh boy.
Okay, the jiggle from Mako. It's a little bit of damage, but I think he'd very much prefer that compared to the alternative. Just trying to see, is Artis going to continue to push up? The answer is no, because Artis is not named something nor Kong Kong. So.
Well, he might get some utility into Cubby. Yeah, I think the fault line might come through here onto the Cubby or something, yeah. So, you know what?
Opposite split. Artis still in a position to try to catch him, but turns away from the flash, and then Buzz again finds the timing. Exiting out of the cloudburst, Artis was trying to get somebody else pushing their way into the site, but it's a quick response. NRG, the other 4 players are here. Victor finding some value initially. Mako going to be taken down. Victor finds a second. Buzz going to be eliminated as well. Now Crashies gets involved as Zest will fall. 2 players left, Stacks and RB. They're trying to get them in this one. The spike not surrendered on the site. RB caught in an awkward position between a rock and a hard place, and he gets crunched, as will Stacks.
It's just kind of bait. I mean, DRX just completely bites on this. They're like, we can isolate Artis, we can take him down. We know how to get this. And they have a great setup there. They use the fault line to clear Cubby. Okay, anything else that's going to happen here? DRX is committing, and they punish it.
Looking for the orb. It will be taken. Sam, though, pinged out. And that's going to be the aftershock to try to clear through. Up over the top goes Buzz, and he gets the punish. Sam so desperately wanting to try to get that ult online. Well, now he's going to be dead. Crashies, however, holding things down from hell. 3 quick kills. 7 HP and a dream with the spike is stranded. And he brings this back into a monstrous advantage.
I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I mean, that's incredible from him, but Mako there just dropping down and makes the first kill pretty easy. Able to isolate a couple others.
Finesse in heaven, looking like he's going to be ready to play off the back of this pop flash that Crashies has set up. Hard corner to the check, RB will manage to find one. Blind comes across and Zest is left out to dry.
One hell of a defender side here for DRX to get this done. And, Mako TP'd up there and he had kind of control of heaven there. Could have just locked it down.
Put up those 8 rounds on Pearl, so we'll see if that's going to be able to transition very similarly here to Haven. But for now, it's going to be this triple creep out into mid. Stacks lingering back on B site for a little bit of extra reinforcement, but it seems like RB, situated in garage, going to make the call as the turret plays contact. That it is going to be just a straight up C hits.
Yeah, and Victor's going to tuck back into spawn as all of DRX now swinging in from garage and spawn themselves.
Stun's good, but covering fires there. Finesse from behind finds Buzz. RB going to be taken out as well. Oh, the reveal is massive. Stacks only able to find one off the back of it. Though gets another. Turns over to Artis, but Sam catches him off guard. Just too many targets to Sam again. Putting up solid figures. 3 kills for him, but Zest gets the 2-tap, but Sam.
Great utility usage by Zest in this round as well to make this retake even remotely possible here, because DRX was just getting shut down at the point of attack. I mean, this is nasty from Zest, but not dead. Some fist bumps. Having a very, very solid performance here. All of NRG out ahead of it, and well, Buzz is gone.
Just trying to catch him off guard, but it's just far too many people. Only a classic in hand. Mako creeping back out of sewer. Looks like NRG given the anti-eco, just given they already have a pick. Not gonna be too dissuaded for shifting away from this site. Push coming out, Artist just sprays to win. Mako taken out.
Well, this has kind of been a time, something that does hurt DRX. Sam is gonna deal with Zest. Now, Stack's gonna get behind the box. I don't think this is gonna fool Artist in the least.
And he's been healed up, so yeah, Artist, the nice and easy headshot, leaving just RB. With that Sheriff, manages to find one.
DRX through smokes. Paper Rex does this quite often now as well. You can find some value. A little return fire from DRX this time through the smokes, but Flash is going to back them off as NRG is fully setting up here for this A hit. A recon dart from Zest confirming that there is still presence, but no rotations really. A slight shift of weight from DRX over towards the B site now. Alarm bot at the front to watch for that. Stack's getting set up as kind of in a pivot position with this breach to be able to kind of use that utility either at A or B if necessary. He's just going to push off that. Oh, I thought he was going to maybe try to get underneath that owl drone.
This good tag does get slowed up, but the approach still continues. Zest tucked into the corner, Buzz up top, staring down towards sewer, where only Finesse will grace his sights. The rest of the team ready to just go ahead, shove forward. Identify that Zest in a forward spot, spam through the wall. Artist finds the elimination. Buzz now tucked in off the flank. Just trying to catch him, and with that, they say, you know what? I think we pulled enough rotations. It's time to cut.
Just brilliant. I mean, DRX had fully committed. Mako is kind of standing over there in Link, but this is free. Cove as well. Not much that can be done about this. We're going to start spraying into it, but it doesn't matter.
And they are just absolutely drowning them right now. RB gone. The Stinger finds the elimination. Turret cleared out. 3 members left. Weapon advantage technically there, but it's so many angles to try to clear out, and Artist finds Stack, sprays through to find Mako as well. As if it wasn't brutal enough. No relenting, no mercy shown at all. NRG, they want to finish this right here, right now. Buzz just stuck in the attacking spawn, seeing if he can find anything to stop this from being a flawless, but as we know, inevitably, the spike is just going to go off, and that's going to be NRG moving up to 11 rounds.
It's just perplexing in a way for DRX to pull back and readjust to B. It completely bamboozles DRX. I mean, this is just quintessential FNS. He does this all the time to DRX, so many times throughout history. He's pushing and pulling DRX around this map on their attacker side. And he does it again, this Haven. You can see why they definitely wanted to lean right into this, and it's an awkward buy for DRX. Still have enough in the next round to do what they need to do, but that flash is gonna buy a lot of space here. Mako trying to get out of dodge, get some reinforcements. It's just RB with him.
Yeah, they identify both of them. The fight comes down, it's on the vulnerable, but again, the spray through. Mako getting sprayed through smokes just has not been a great duo here today for him. Spray coming out, RB only gonna be able to find one Sam. Takes him out, the site now completely open. Buzz arriving with their wisely, planting on the backside of the site. They expect that this flank is gonna be coming through from the attacker side. Buzz up close, instantly snaps on for one, but cannot get crashes. That leaves just Zest now, all on his lonesome. The dart over the top, the reveal on one. Cannot get the weaker player, and Sam.
Time out here by NRG. They exactly like you said here, Kilios. They read this so well. They're able to take quite a bit of space. Just Mako on his own, able to kind of take it. And they set up on the other side. Just brilliant. There's no other way to put this. This is a masterclass from NRG on this map.
There's no ults to work through here for the side of DRX. Nothing to give them a little bit more of a boon, that confidence. Buzz finding one, continuing to play forward. The shot does get whipped, and now the crunch comes in. Stacks arriving, find one, spots Victor, knows that he's in the corner, drags across for the headshot. I don't know if there's too much to smile about.
And it's not like there isn't precedence for DRX having a run back like that. They've done to get something here.
Be a fast turnaround on that one, but here we go. This could very well be the end of it all. And NRG are looking to hit this side fast and hard. Force up the high ground, there is Buzz, the op in hand. to the ready, but no, he's still moving forward. Op shot goes wide. Artist not going to be clipped by that one. Hunter's Fury now going to be unleashed. Zest fishing for something, fishing for a tag, but he's just going to be coming up shy. Nothing biting the line this time. And the rest of NRG have flooded their way into the A site now. His Artist will stay on a linger. Spotting Stacks, notice he's tucked away. They should have identified each other. A warning shot, perhaps. His Artist is just going to go ahead and rotate around. Still is going to be in range, though, on bot.
It's genius. They bait out the Hunter's Fury, and they get the plant for free. They don't lose a single player.
I think the alarm bot was recalled. I don't think it was destroyed. RP's still a little bit wary about this, but now he's making his way in through the spawn.
Oh, no.
Cutting around from behind, the Rolling Thunder cuts across, does manage to connect on the two. Couple players, though, still avoiding being stunned up, and even with those stuns, they're not flooding them fast enough to try to find kills on the back of it. Crashes with the pop flash, brings out to the corner, eats a full flash. RB able to find one. The approach from behind, Artist mows them down, and he drags them over the line.